Have you ever woken up in the morning and felt like your mind wasn't quite as sharp as it used to be? Maybe you forget where you left your glasses, or you walk into a room and can't quite remember why you went in there. If you've noticed little things like that, you're not alone. As we get older, it's completely natural for the brain to slow down a bit. But here's the good news, it doesn't have to stay that way. You actually have more power over your brain health than you might think. Today, we're going to talk about something simple yet incredibly powerful. For things you can do every single morning after the age of 70 to keep your brain young, alert, and full of energy. Imagine starting your day not feeling foggy or sluggish, but with a clear head, ready to enjoy life, whether it's spending time with your grandkids, working on a hobby, or just feeling more in control of your day. So let's dive right in. The first thing I want to talk about is something most of us often overlook because it sounds too simple to make a difference: hydration. Yes, water. You see, when we sleep at night, our bodies lose a lot of fluid. That's why so many people wake up feeling groggy or with a headache. The brain, which is made up of about 75% water, is especially sensitive to even mild dehydration. A lack of water in the morning can make you feel confused, tired, and forgetful. But here's the thing, if you start your day with a glass of water, before your coffee, before your tea, you're literally fueling your brain cells to fire more efficiently. Think of it like watering a plant in the morning. Without that drink, the plant droops. With it, the plant stands tall. Your brain works the same way. If plain water feels boring, you can squeeze in a little lemon for flavor and an extra boost of vitamin C. The goal is simply to rehydrate your body and give your brain the fresh start it deserves. Imagine this as giving your mind a gentle wake-up call before you even get to breakfast. Once your body feels recharged, the next powerful habit is movement. But don't worry, I'm not talking about running marathons or doing anything extreme. I'm talking about gentle, mindful movement in the morning. This can be as simple as stretching your arms and legs, rolling your shoulders, or taking a slow walk around your living room or backyard. The key is to get your blood flowing, because when blood flows, oxygen flows, and that's like premium fuel for your brain. I'll give you a little picture to hold in your mind. Imagine your brain is like a light bulb. The more oxygen it gets, the brighter it shines. A few minutes of movement in the morning is like flipping on that switch. You'll feel more awake, your thoughts will be clearer, and your memory will work better throughout the day. Some people enjoy doing a few yoga stretches or Tai Chi moves, and others just like to stand by the window and slowly stretch toward the sunlight. Whatever feels comfortable for your body is perfect. The goal isn't to strain yourself, but to gently invite your body to wake up along with your mind. Even 5 to 10 minutes is enough to make a noticeable difference. As you start incorporating these two simple habits, hydrating with water and moving your body, you'll notice something remarkable: your mornings feel different. You're not just getting through the day anymore, you're stepping into it with more clarity and control. It's like opening the curtains and letting the sunlight pour in, both into your home and into your mind. Now that we've set the stage with these two habits that feed and energize your brain, let's move into something equally important, something that nourishes your mind from the inside out. You know, one of the most amazing things about our brains is that they're like gardens. If you water and care for them, they grow strong and vibrant, even at 70, 80, or 90. But if we neglect them, weeds like forgetfulness, confusion, or mental fog can start creeping in. And that brings us to something many people overlook: the importance of engaging your brain early in the day. Think of it as giving your mind a gentle workout before the world starts demanding your attention. After you've moved your body and rehydrated, a powerful way to spark mental clarity is to challenge your brain with something simple but stimulating. This doesn't mean you need to solve complicated math problems or memorize entire books. It can be as enjoyable as reading a few pages from a favorite novel, working on a crossword puzzle, or even listening to an audiobook that makes you curious about the world. For some people, it's a morning walk while listening to a podcast. For others, it might be practicing a new language one phrase at a time. What matters isn't the exact activity, but the act of nudging your brain into active mode instead of letting it drift passively through the morning. Take this scenario. Imagine two people, both in their 70s. One wakes up, watches TV all morning, and doesn't really ask their brain to do much until later in the day. The other spends just 15 minutes reading, writing a few notes in a journal, or playing a word game on their tablet. Over months and years, the second person's brain stays sharper, their memory works better, and they're less likely to feel lost in conversations. It's like the difference between a river that keeps flowing versus one that sits still and starts to collect debris. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, I've never been much of a reader, or I don't really like puzzles. That's perfectly fine. The key is to find what you do enjoy that makes your brain light up. It could be gardening and learning about different plants. It could be recalling stories from your past and writing them down for your children or grandchildren, or even trying out new recipes in the kitchen. The brain loves novelty. Every time you learn something new, even something small, you're literally creating new connections in your brain cells. And those connections act like armor against memory decline. But there's another layer to this mental engagement that I want to highlight, and that's mindfulness. Starting the morning with a clear mind isn't just about keeping busy, it's also about creating space to notice what's happening around and within you. A simple breathing exercise, even just 2 or 3 minutes of paying attention to your breath, can calm the nervous system, reduce stress hormones, and actually sharpen focus. Many people think meditation is complicated, but truly, it can be as easy as sitting comfortably, closing your eyes, and noticing the air moving in and out of your body. That's it. No pressure to be perfect. Just presence. When you combine these two habits, mental stimulation and mindfulness, you give your brain both exercise and rest, just like muscles need both activity and recovery. Imagine starting your day with a short walk to get the blood moving, then sitting down with a glass of water and a puzzle, and finishing it with 2 minutes of quiet breathing. Doesn't that sound like a recipe for mental clarity? And here's a little secret: your brain loves routine. The more consistently you do these small habits, the more your brain starts to anticipate and enjoy them. It's like telling your mind every morning, hey, it's time to wake up, focus, and feel alive. That repetition builds resilience, so on the days you feel a bit tired or down, your brain still has the momentum to carry you through. There's also a social aspect to mental clarity. Interacting with others in the morning, whether it's greeting a neighbor, chatting with family, or even calling a friend, stimulates parts of the brain that reading or puzzles can't. Human connection is fuel for the mind. It's why so many people notice their mood and memory improve after a good conversation. If you live alone, even talking to yourself out loud while preparing breakfast, sharing your plans for the day, or speaking affirmations like "today will be a good day," can activate your brain in surprisingly positive ways. The beauty of these morning practices is that they don't require hours of your time. 10 to 20 minutes can make a world of difference. And they're not chores, they're gifts you give yourself. A calm mind, a sharper memory, and a brighter outlook on the day ahead. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You do it every morning because you know it keeps your mouth healthy. These little habits are like brushing your brain, keeping it clean, strong, and ready. Now, as we keep moving through this journey of creating a morning routine that truly supports your brain after 70, there's one more daily habit that's often underestimated but incredibly powerful. It's something simple, something many people overlook, but it has a direct impact on how well your mind stays young and clear. We've talked about moving your body, keeping hydrated, and giving your brain a good mental stretch. But now we arrive at the fourth and perhaps most underestimated habit: nourishing your brain with the right fuel first thing in the morning. Think about this: your brain is only about 2% of your body's weight, but it uses up nearly 20% of your daily energy. That means what you eat in the morning has a direct, powerful effect on how sharp you feel, how stable your mood is, and how much energy you'll have for the day. Too often, we skip breakfast or grab something sugary that gives us a quick spike of energy and then a crash, leaving us foggy and drained. But at 70 and beyond, your brain needs steady, high-quality fuel more than ever. So, what kinds of foods are best for keeping your brain young? One superstar group is foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like salmon, walnuts, chia seeds, or flax seeds. These healthy fats are literally building blocks for your brain cells, helping your memory stay sharp and your mood stay balanced. Another category to add is antioxidant-rich foods, like blueberries, strawberries, or even a handful of dark leafy greens. These help fight off the rusting that happens in the brain over time, known as oxidative stress. And of course, don't forget protein. Eggs, Greek yogurt, or even a small handful of nuts give you steady energy and keep your mind from feeling sluggish. Now, I know not everyone loves a big breakfast, and that's okay. You don't need to eat a feast in the morning. Even something as simple as a boiled egg and a piece of fruit, or a smoothie made with spinach, banana, and a spoonful of nut butter, can do wonders for your focus and energy. The key is to avoid starting your day on an empty tank or filling it with processed foods that leave your brain starved of nutrients. Let me share a story that might inspire you. There's a man I met named Min, 74 years old, who used to skip breakfast because he said he wasn't hungry in the mornings. But he often felt groggy, sometimes even dizzy, and struggled to remember small details like where he put his glasses. After making one simple change, adding a small bowl of oatmeal with walnuts and berries each morning, he noticed his mornings felt lighter. His energy lasted longer, and he even joked that his memory got a little oil change. It wasn't magic, it was nutrition. Here's something else many people overlook: hydration and nutrition go hand in hand. A lot of brain fog isn't actually memory loss, it's just mild dehydration combined with lack of proper fuel. That's why starting the morning with water and then following it up with a brain-friendly meal is like giving your mind a double gift: clarity and stamina. But let's go even deeper. Food isn't just about fueling the body, it's also about creating joy and routine. Preparing a colorful breakfast, sitting down at the table, maybe even sharing that moment with someone you love, is powerful for your brain. Studies show that people who eat in a calm, mindful way not only digest food better but also experience greater satisfaction and lower stress levels. In other words, how you eat is just as important as what you eat. Now, let's tie all 4 of these morning habits together into a simple picture. Imagine yourself waking up tomorrow. You start with gentle movement, maybe stretching your arms, rolling your shoulders, or taking a short walk. You pour a glass of water, sip it slowly, and feel your body wake up from the inside out. You give your mind a little workout, reading, journaling, or meditating for a few minutes. Finally, you sit down and enjoy a nourishing breakfast, rich in brain-loving foods. Doesn't that sound like a morning that sets you up for success? Compare that to a morning where you wake up, skip movement, rush out the door, maybe drink only coffee, and let your brain drift without direction. The difference is enormous, not just for that day, but for your long-term health, happiness, and independence. And here's the best part: none of these habits require expensive equipment, gym memberships, or complicated schedules. They are small, practical steps that anyone can do at home, every single day. And when practiced consistently, they become your greatest defense against memory decline, mood swings, and the fear of losing yourself as you age. I want to leave you with this thought: growing older is not about fading away, it's about shining differently. Your brain, like your body, has incredible resilience. Even if you haven't taken care of it perfectly in the past, every new habit you start today plants a seed for a brighter tomorrow. So, my challenge to you is this: tomorrow morning, choose at least one of these habits and make it your own. Then slowly build up until all 4 are part of your routine. Think of it as your personal morning formula for staying sharp, energetic, and joyful after 70. Because remember, it's never too late to protect your brain. In fact, the best time to start is now.